I'll just
Okay,
hit
good.
okay, I think I
Okay,
started
good.
recording.
Got it.
So, like, the
Yes.
first topic, we're just kinda go over, like, general information about yourself. So if you wanna tell me just, like, a little bit about yourself, like, where you're from, what you do for work, stuff like that.
Okay, absolutely. I was born in Puerto Rico, um, and from Puerto Rico, my parents moved here when I was about 6 years old. We moved to Boston, and and my mother, we called her the Puerto Rican gypsy because she moved Boston, Chicago, Florida, a few cities in between Connecticut. She just kept moving, and I landed in Connecticut for a long time, where I became a police officer. And then I worked as a police officer for about 12 years, and I was injured on the line of duty. So then I left the police department. So I was disabled because I couldn't do police work anymore, which for me was devastating because I was only in my 30s when that
Yeah,
happened. And
crazy.
but I went into the corporate America investigation field,
Okay,
and that's how I landed at Universal Studios. And I started. I managed the investigation team at Universal Studios, and in between there, a couple of years, I went to work for your father.
yeah.
Yes, a couple of years. I was dabbling in that area, and the market kind of like crashed. So then I had to
Yeah,
go back to what I was doing, which is okay because then after that, um, my wife and I moved to Chicago, and I became a private investigator. I'm a private investigator,
oh, that is
and
so cool.
yeah,
That's really awesome.
it is cool work. I work mostly, but I don't do the people ask me, do you do the surveillance stuff? I do that once in a while,
Yeah.
but I let the young guys do that mostly, sit in a car and watch people.
Yeah.
Uh, Me personally, I do a lot of cold cases.
Okay,
So attorneys hire me to overlook their cases to see if they miss something. If they have clients who are, for example, right now, I'm working what they call habeas corpus cases, which
okay.
means that there are people in jail who feel that they're innocent, so that they were charged. Um, they, it was unjust to charge them. That's what they believe. So I turn around and look for evidence that the police miss that could exonerate them. So
Gotcha,
that's what
that's
I do.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. So that's what I do. So and I've been doing this since 1987. It's been my career in investigation. So I've been
Okay.
doing this for a long time. And currently, I am taking a course in cybersecurity at the
Oh,
tender age of 57. So I just love this field, and anything I can learn from the field, I just go for it.
no, that's
You know,
great, and that's so great that you're
yeah,
still learning, like, that's
yeah,
amazing. That's so cool.
yes. It's
And
never
then
too late to learn something. Yeah. Go
yeah, that's really cool, I had no idea that's what you did now. My dad's like I was like, "Dad, like, I need someone." He's like, "I have a friend." I'm like, "Perfect."
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I know.
Um, and then I'll just ask you a little bit about your cultural background. So what are some values of your culture that you strongly believe in?
Cultural values. Um, and I know that family is it's not exclusive to a culture, but being from a Hispanic family, we tend to really focus on the elderly, and 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 especially like because I'm getting older, you
Mhm.
know, so I'm doing it now for my parents. So it's kind of like my kids are kind of like it's kind of like you pass it on to make sure you take care of family. It doesn't mean we live off our kids. It just means that they
No,
just
yeah.
look out for us in case, you know. And besides, my I have a 12-year-old daughter, which I wasn't expecting that because I have a 35-year-old daughter and a 30-year-old, 31-year-old son.
Oh,
But
okay.
Bella came around, she's 12. So I kind of restarted. So I'm kind of trying to get her to also understand that in our culture, that taking care of family, making sure that we always stay in contact with each other, making sure that we support um, other Hispanics in a sense. If there's I mean, we live in the big city in Chicago. I live
Right.
by Wrigley Field where the Cubs play. We're right around the corner. And if we could go an extra block to go to an Hispanic place, we would do that to support, culturally
Right.
that because it's important. Um, and I value hard work. I've been doing it for a long time, and that's what I tell my kids. You have to work and respect others, because you just never know whose help you can need in the future. So
Right.
just treat everyone the same, like you like to be treated. So that way, you know, and that's pretty. There's I know there's nuances in there, but that's the big one. The
No,
family,
that's great.
yeah, and,
Oh, I love
yeah.
that. That's amazing. Those are perfect. And then this one's like a
Thank you.
little more surface level. What
Yeah.
are some of your favorite meals from your culture?
Oh, arroz con habichuela. Which is right. It's people go, do you Puerto Ricans eat rice and beans every day? The answer to that is maybe yes. Some of us do. It. My wife is half Cuban, half Puerto Rican,
Okay.
but she was born and raised here in Chicago, and she likes to mix it up, you know. But when I was married before, and my ex-wife was from Puerto Rico, and yes, rice and beans was every single day. Yeah, it was just kind of, people say, you don't get tired. It goes, no, it's so weird. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
like you come to expect it, you know. So we eat that. We eat, try to stay away from pork, which although I used to love pork a lot, so we eat, it depends. In the island, people tend to eat a lot of yams and eat a lot of rice,
Okay.
but out here, you know, in the States, I think we Americanize a little bit. The Hispanics here Americanize. So we do our fast foods, we do our regular things like any other um, citizen would, but we still make sure that we include our like our special holidays. Christmas is coming up, and my mother every year makes this special plate called pasteles, and it's tradition. She'll make it. So tradition, keeping tradition is the most important. That's another one of the values: keeping
Okay.
tradition alive. Yes, keeping it
Okay.
alive. So that's. Um, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then
So
kind of going
okay, okay.
off of that, what holidays do you celebrate, and do you have any holidays that are specific to your culture?
Before Christmas, it's not really specific, but we take it more serious.
Okay.
The January 6th, which is Three Kings Day.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Before the the Santa Claus coming into very big commercial into Puerto Rico, there was no such thing as Santa
Yeah.
Claus. There was the Three Kings. That was your Christmas. And as a matter of fact, Bella was born on January the 6th, and I was so happy because it's Three
Oh,
Kings Day, and we value that. It's the announcement of Christ,
right.
Jesus being born, and that's I think that's a lot when it comes to like spiritually and religiously. I think that's definitely on the top
Okay.
versus Christmas. I
Right.
think Three Kings is definitely. But um there is um when we live on the island, when we live there is holidays that they celebrate on the island that they don't celebrate out here. But
Okay.
they said one certain example is it's like 8 days after Christmas. It's called La Octavitas. It's 8 days after Christmas. You celebrate Christ by celebrating. It's another excuse for a party. Put it that way. It's 8 days of party. 8 days of party after Christmas.
Okay.
There you go. Christmas wasn't enough. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I get it. I like the holidays. I would do that too.
Yeah.
Um, and then this one's like on a different topic, but do you enjoy watching or playing any sports?
um. Oh, that's a good one. Because that's a good one. I got all my friends watch football, and I tend to like. I'm not a big football guy. I watch baseball. I tend to watch baseball because,
Okay.
again,
Right.
so it's baseball. Plus, baseball is really big on the island too.
Okay.
You know, there's a reason why you watch baseball and you see a lot of Hispanic names on the back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them come from the islands. There's Santo Domingo. and Cuba and Puerto Rico. You get a lot from there. So baseball, I think is a particular one that we definitely watch a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. And then this is so the advertisement's going to be for like a Volkswagen electric car, which is kind of
Okay.
the question is going to be more geared towards that. That's the campaign we're coming
Hmm.
up with. Which we don't tell you that before because we don't want you to research it. So we just want to like tell you about it. But I
Okay.
would have
No,
told
that's
you,
good.
but
That's good.
I just wanted you to go in blind. But what car brands come to mind first when you first think of just like cars in general?
Lexus, just cars in general.
Yeah.
Lexus. It's a BMW. I've always owned BMWs, so it's kind of been like that's always been my favorite. But I
Okay.
always also lean to Lexus or Nissan. My
Okay.
wife is a big Nissan person, so that's pretty much the brands
That comes to
that we
mind.
really like. Although we just for my uncle's funeral, which I went out to
Oh
Pennsylvania,
yeah.
we drove there, and we rented a Toyota Highlander, and oh my god,
You liked
what
it?
an awesome SUV! We fell in love. We're like, my wife said, I think I'm gonna go to the dealership and buy one because I love this thing. It has 3 rows. It's
Oh,
huge.
that's nice. That's
And we
really
were like, we were just so comfortable in that thing. So we were introduced this past weekend with that.
okay. Oh, that's so fun. And then
Yeah.
does your family impact the type of vehicles that you own?
My family. Um, no, not so much. I think no, I wouldn't say that my family per se, me personally,
Okay.
impacts me. I've always been a car snob, so I've always liked nice cars. And so right out of my first job, the first thing I did was get a nice car. My mom says, shouldn't be saving money instead of buying a car. I go, no, I just want a nice. So I bought myself a Camaro,
Oh
a
my
sports
gosh.
car.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they definitely don't. They definitely don't. They don't. But in the island, it's funny because in the island, it does per se because it's not about luxury, it's about economy. So so 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders is your norm, where 8 cylinder cars, you just won't see them. People don't want not just the extra expense, but also your carbon footprint. You There's a lot
Right.
of bad you do with the bigger vehicles, and there's no reason to own a big vehicle in the island. You know,
Right. No, that
here
makes
you might have your reasons.
that makes sense. And then do you enjoy driving or how often would you say you drive per week?
But there's 2 answers to that.
Okay.
I love driving, but my wife doesn't allow me to drive in the city. And
I don't blame her.
she's a driver. When we moved from Florida, from Orlando, I sold my car, my poor baby. I sold my baby,
Oh no.
and because you don't need a car, this is a walking city.
Right.
So we figure, why do we need 2 cars? We're in the middle of everything. We went from remember, I used to have to go to work to Universal every single day, and putting 40,000 miles on the car in a year was like this. The
Right.
first year we were here, we barely put 4,000 miles in our car
Wow.
because we walked everywhere. Our doctors are around the corners. My wife got her hair done, nails done, everything. We're here. We're right here.
That's
So
really nice.
you got the train, you got the buses, you got the bikes, you got the scooters, you got everything. So yes. So I love driving. I'm not allowed to drive in the city, but and also I don't have my car because I didn't need it. But I love cars. I love cars. I want to buy a car soon. I just gotta wait till my daughter goes to high school, which is
Right.
she's in 7th grade now, and then I'm in. Then I'm in. Okay.
No, I totally get that. Do you have any strong memories or connections with the car that you've owned?
Yeah, that Camaro. It's the IROC
Yeah.
Camaro.
Okay, I
It
was
was
gonna
my
guess that.
first. It was yeah. It was my first car, my first sports car. It had these tires that were like huge. I couldn't even put it on the screen. That's how big these tires were. And it was like my first. I got stopped in that car for the first time by the state police because I was going too fast, and it's just yeah, that's definitely the Camaro, Chevrolet Camaro. it was an IROC. I don't think they make those cars anymore, but yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
A
And
need
then
for speed.
how do you feel about gas powered cars versus electric powered cars?
I I would love to go electric like right now. My
Right.
wife and I have had this conversation. But the first thing is that since we are towards the age of retirement, we plan to do more road trips.
Right.
And had if I was to say if I was in my 30s and I was still working for the next 20 years, I would say definitely electric, charge it up, go to work, whatever. But we're looking for something that we could take on the road with us.
Right.
Um, and
That's,
stopping to charge
that's
the
inconvenient. No,
car,
that's inconvenient.
definitely inconvenient for us. But I tell you what, if they were to change somehow, that changes in the next 10 years, you know I'm
Right.
definitely in.
Perfect.
Hopefully, knock on
Awesome.
wood.
Yeah. My dad, I always
Yeah.
ask my dad that. He's like, I would never do that. I'm like, of course you want it. Of course, that's not shocking. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when the phrase electric vehicles comes to mind, what brands, or like when that's brought up, what brands come to your mind as like associated with electric vehicles?
uh, the big one, Tesla, of course.
Yeah.
But also, I just went to the car show not too long ago, and I believe it was BMW. It has like kind of like a combination of both electric
Okay.
and gas. I believe it is. It's a luxury car. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Um, um, but to be honest with you, Tesla is the one that like
That's
the first
yeah.
one I could think of, and then I would. There's not a particular. I assume that the big brands might have one already or in the works. That's my assumption. But Tesla is definitely the first one that comes to mind.
That's the same one that comes to mind for me. I think everybody, it's just like Tesla, that's the one. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and then what do you know about this one's more Volkswagen, this like section is specific. What do you know about Volkswagen as a brand? It's okay if you don't know literally anything, but
Well, I know that Volkswagen is a German brand, right? It's from Germany. And someone said one time to me, I don't know, I've never researched this, but someone said that bought they bought like one of the big luxury brand cars. I don't know if it was Lamborghini, but it was one of the big ones that they own. So they own more than just what. But a friend, the first actually the first car that someone lent to me was a Volkswagen, but it wasn't the not the buggy Volkswagen.
yeah, not
It was just
that.
not that one. That one was around everywhere when I was a kid. When I was a kid, punch
Yeah,
buggy,
the punch
that
buggy.
game. That was we played that all the time. You can't play that anymore now. But and also I remember as a kid that the buggy didn't have heat. It didn't have the
Oh.
heat. So we lived in Boston and it was
Oh,
freezing your ass off. The inside this thing, I hated it. I hated it because
oh,
it didn't
that's
have that.
awful.
My father owned a Volkswagen van
Okay.
that the top will come up and you have a bed on the top. And so those come like those sleeping vans. And
Yeah,
so
I know what
those,
you're talking about. Oh,
and then
that's
as
really
kids we
cool.
were yeah, as kids we used to go up there and play and on the top, and we used to go on road trips, and we would fall asleep there was beds. Yeah, so that was kind of like a first camper per se that we had. But the first car they lent me was a Volkswagen. It was a square one that's I forget exactly what it's called. And I said, this is a cool car. But I always thought it was an old person's car.
Okay.
Uh, like old, like for guys like me
No,
now.
that literally that goes into my next question. Like, what type of people do you think drive Volkswagen? Like older people.
Yeah, like older. Um, if I could think of a make, like I see like people who drive. I don't see the buggies anymore. The round ones.
Right.
I always thought those were like free spirited people,
I
kind of
thought so
like
too. Like they're kind of like fun. I like those.
yeah, like fun. Yeah, exactly. And but the any other ones, right now, if somebody says you need to buy a Volkswagen, I would definitely go for the van,
Okay.
the sleeper van. That's the one I could think of that I would go for. Um, yeah. What was your question again? I think I missed your
No,
question.
you're good. No, that was actually perfect. It
Okay.
was
Okay.
good.
Good. Okay. Okay.
And then,
Okay.
are you aware that Volkswagen is making electric vehicles?
Electric vehicles. Oh, they are.
They are.
No, I
Well,
was.
they're coming out with them now. So not many people know that, which
Okay.
is like part of the reason we're doing the campaign as well. So it's harder.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
And then this one's kind of a tricky question. But if
Okay.
Volkswagen, the brand itself, was a celebrity, what celebrity do you think they would be?
I think George Clooney, older, mature.
I think that's a great answer. That's perfect. Me and my roommate were talking about it too. We're like, who do we think they would be? And then we're like, someone kind of generic, like
Yeah,
everybody
no, no.
knows. He's just there, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. The reason I think of George Clooney is because it's still considered a good car, you
Right.
know, and once in a while they pop up and do something really good that catches people's attention, but they're not always in your face, and that's how I
No.
think of George Clooney. Once in a while you see him in a movie, go, man, that's a good movie, but you haven't seen him in a while. You haven't heard anything from him in a
Right,
while. So
right. That's
yeah,
and then have you heard of the new VW ID Buzz, which is their new like electric car?
no,
Perfect. I'm gonna show you a picture of it just so you can see
okay,
it.
okay.
I have it pulled up on my computer, but I don't know how to share my screen, so I'm just gonna show you on my
No,
phone.
no, that's good. That's good. Hope you
Okay.
weren't relying on me to share my screen because that
No,
would never work.
I'm like, hey, don't worry, I don't even know how to do mine. So this is what it looks like. It's like a
Okay.
little electric
Oh,
van. It's kind of retro, but it's
yeah. It is retro.
electric now. And then what was your first
That's
impression
fully
of that
electric, right?
photo?
Yeah, is that
Sorry.
fully electric then?
Yes.
100% electric? Okay, 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 okay. Wow, it's
So it's
pretty
like
nice.
it's kind of yeah, it kind of gives like the retro vibe, but it's
Yeah.
electric.
Wow, yeah. Like
Pretty
that
cool.
grill.
I
Yeah,
know when I
that
saw it,
grill
I was
is
like,
really
oh,
nice.
that's but yeah, what do you think about it? What are your first impressions just of like the picture?
The picture, I like it. I like that especially the first thing that popped out was the grill. The grill is
Yeah,
amazing. It looks modern, and it looks innovative. And when you compare it to like seeing the old like regular cars, they all
right.
kind of built the same, that seems to be going to a different direction. And the color was kind of different. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar. The
They
color
have
was
like
amazing.
they have like yellows, greens, like they're definitely not your traditional car colors for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think and it's funny that for a campaign for let's say for Hispanics love colors when it comes to cars. They do. You go to the island and you see bright colors. You see yellows. You really never see a yellow car around
No,
here.
you don't. It's like
Red.
out of the ordinary, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah, over there you see it. Pops, you got yellow, the greens, all those colors that you go to the dealership and you say, I would never get that color. You see them over there. You see them over there.
Exactly. I wanted like a bright blue car. My dad was like, no, because you're gonna get a ticket faster. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yes. That is true too. That is true. You stick
But
out.
yeah. And then what features of that? Well, you basically just answered that question, are intriguing to you. So like the grill, the colors, the modern
Yes, the
look to it.
colors. Yes. And yeah, it looks like it definitely looks like I mean, it looks like a van. It's not like you have to guess that is what is it? It's
Right.
definitely a van. You can see that, but it does look um that it's ahead. That it's trying to look futuristic in a sense. Which
Right.
in a good way,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
no.
overdoing it. It looks good. Yeah.
And then would you ever consider purchasing a VW Buzz or the ID Buzz, the electric car?
I The honest answer to that is if because like I said, we were thinking about after taking that drive
Right.
by in the car, um, we will consider it if my daughter decides because she's in sports and she gets more involved and we drive all these kids around all the time and we do give her a van, we will the price range will probably play a big factor in it,
Okay.
you know.
That's
So
literally
it depends
perfect.
on the
That goes into
price
my
range.
next question too. Do you think there's a certain
Yeah,
price
yeah.
range that you think is fair, like for that type of vehicle?
Wow.
No, I'm sorry.
It's
That
hard
was
to make
I wouldn't
prices
even know how to
because the
answer half.
economy has everything, all the prices have turned. If
I
you
know.
would ask me, yeah, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said
Right.
$70,000 would probably be the fair price. But today, I don't know. Everything seems so expensive.
I know.
Everything seems so expensive, and I don't know how much $70,000 could get you today. That could probably
Right.
get you the lower end, and also the bells and whistles. Like it, I guess seeing it on the outside is one thing, but seeing it in the inside too to see
Right.
what what comfort it allows. I think that plays a big factor in price wise. But just seeing the way I see it, about 70.
Okay.
I'd said
Perfect.
about 70,000.
Perfect. And then does advertising play a role in your purchase decisions? Like if you see an ad, like does
I
that
think so.
okay.
You know what's funny, because I used to think not, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I usually do it for research, or when I'm even when I'm on the computer. For some reason, when I get bored, the first I don't go to a lot of social media except for I have Instagram, but I do a lot of YouTube. And anytime something in advertising that I like, right on there, right on YouTube, I just type it on the top and I
Yeah.
look more information on it. I tend to do that. So, and I watch a lot of car reviews on
Okay.
YouTube. And yeah, yeah. So I think yeah, it does. It does. I tend to I tend to look at the commercials and the advertisement. As much as
Perfect.
I don't want to admit to that, I do.
No, no, it's okay. My dad's always on YouTube. I think it's either that or like sometimes he'll find Instagram reels and send them to me.
Yes.
Like, it's basically TikTok dad. Sorry, these are my roommates.
No, no, good, good, no problem, no problem.
And then YouTube is one of the ones that you mentioned, but where do you get your information from when it comes to purchasing a vehicle?
Well, when it comes time to purchasing, I think what eliminating YouTube. Um, I'm trying to think. In the past, I probably just go to their website.
Yeah.
It's a particular car's website, and then once I do that, then I probably go and like look at like these, what is it called, like cars.com, like different dealerships
Yes. Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
compare kind of like compares cars.com with another one and see the last car I bought in Florida, I did it through a broker,
Okay.
and they brokered the deal for me because I don't like dealerships that much. So
Neither does my
I
dad.
paid
He hates them.
yeah, so I paid a guy to do it. But here, go buy me my next car. So but before I did, that's what I did. I went online and I went from the web page of the on the car, and then to the cars.com and other dealerships online to compare their prices. Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's basically all the questions I have for you. But when I
No,
have
right.
my
Okay.
campaign ready, I'd love to send it to you just to like show you how it came out
Yes, absolutely.
and
Do you
for
have
your
my, oh, I gotta
feedback
give you
and
my
everything.
email. Can
Yes,
I
I
give you
have it.
my
You
email
texted it to
too?
me.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I did. Okay.
But thank you so
That was
much.
fun.
Yeah,
No
do you like
problem. Thank you so
it?
much. Yes, yes, absolutely. If you
Thank you
ever
so
need
much for meeting
another,
with me and taking time out of your day for this. I really appreciate it.
whenever you can, no problem. When you get ready to do a real campaign and you need a Latino man, call me.
I will. I'll
You
text you. I'm like,
know,
okay, I'm back, but this time
when
for
when
real.
you're you go, someone Hispanic. Yeah, I'm back. This time it's for real.
I'll
Okay,
put you in
but
my
man, take care
commercials.
so much. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so
You
much.
take
This was fun.
yes, yes.
I'm
I'll
so
be
excited to
there.
tell my dad that I
Okay.
got to meet you and
Okay, bye-bye.
everything.
Take care.